Hello. Welcome to the Sanity Trance. One more again, times 22 or 20 something. I think it's tradition at this point to talk about how long it's been since I haven't done another episode, but for real on this one, I am not great at the once a week thing at all. I just got back from being out of town visiting family and stuff, and I got a new microphone here, and I had to use it because I don't know what I'm in for, and it's really neat. I feel like I can already hear the difference. I feel like I sound smoother, creamier on the ears, you know? But anyway, I guess, they say you're supposed to use a condenser mic for vocals anyway. And I have just dynamic mics, and I don't care, you know? Fix it in post or whatever, however they say, but like, no, it's just doing stuff right, you know? Someone's already figured this stuff out. I don't know why I feel like I have to figure it all out all over again, but I guess that's how it is sometimes. But today, I think I'm going to cover the idea of suffering because it's something I've been thinking about a bunch, and it's been really neat on what that does to your real-time idea of the past time idea of the same thing, you know? And I think a lot of what's keeping me slow is needing content for video. Not necessarily that I don't have stuff I could wig out about on the mic here, but anyway. So this idea, this was a few months ago. I was playing a gig out with some of my friends, and we were done. I was leaving, and I was taking my stuff home, or to the car, and it was a long walk through the back of this huge parking lot, and for some reason, that's just what it was. They made me move my car far back, and so it was quite a walk with gear, you know, and as I'm getting through this property and through the parking lot and all these things, it's like I'm carrying this speaker that it's like comes up to my thighs a little bit, and it's like probably about as wide as I am. Just 12-inch QSC, give or take, if you need the visual that bad, but essentially just a big heavy box. And I was carrying it for a lot longer than usual. So at this point, I'm hurting and I'm feeling like I need to stop and take a break. And right in the middle of it, I have the thought, you won't even remember this. You know? As long as I was walking with this speaker and had the thought, I won't even remember this, I realized it was true. Anytime I can think of suffering in my past, I don't really remember the suffering. I kind of just remember the visual. I maybe remember the smell, but like, yeah, it's when I think back of my memories, I mostly get colors and visual stuff. I can remember people's voices and all that, but I don't really, that's not the first thing that comes to mind when I think of memories, you know? It might all even be on mute in my mind and just see the visual of it all, but like that being said, that includes the feelings of my memories, you know, my sensory, the sense of touch, you know? I feel like just thinking back to any time I was lifting weights or running out of breath, it's so easy to talk about right now, sitting right here. And if I decide to go take a lap, then you could say the suffering continues. And I'd be like out of breath and all these things, but like also in the middle of it, right in the middle of it, if I tell myself, I won't even remember that I'm suffering, I kind of zone out. I zone out for a second. I I'm able to keep going, and it's almost like I don't feel the very thing that was stopping the entire process, you know? And it's awesome because it's a cool little hack for athletic people. I do not recommend doing this for people who are practicing holding their breath or swimming, you know? Anything where you passing out could really cause some problems. Do not try to make your breath longer on the road or any of that stuff where you might accidentally pass out because of what I've said here today. This is some empowering stuff, but also if you can take it too far, I'm sure. Life is about balance, don't forget. But no, that's epic because it was like, ever since then, I haven't really, I've been careful not to hurt myself. That's really a big deal too. Don't go for muscle damage and stuff. If you know it's time to stop by all means. It's your responsibility to know better, but as far as like, small exercise stuff, carrying gear or just emotional pain, emotional suffering. I can think back to anytime life has really just kicked me in the spirit, I can remember the things that made me go into bad phases of my life and turned me into a dark person who like saw things dark and, life wasn't exactly exciting. The idea of tomorrow wasn't exactly inspiring, those things. But, talking about it here today, I'm like, I don't even remember what I was upset about. What were we fighting about? Like, what? If this is how it's going to be, then why fight at all? For real. If I can't remember suffering, if you can't remember suffering, and, I just don't understand why there needs to be a lot of it. Like, I understand there will be suffering, it's like a Buddhist tenet that life is nothing but suffering, but at the same time, it's, and maybe tenet's too far, but like, my favorite part about English is your vocabulary, your sentences are your wealth ceiling on that level. If you believe it, it's because those words, those words are your current conclusion. Sorry for the unclear throat. It's like 4 a.m. right now, and sometimes I wake up this early with nothing to do, and so I try to be productive. But yeah, it's an allergy morning for sure. But I won't remember it. I hardly even feel like I'm suffering now. I'm just talking and breathing through my mouth about it. But no, it's epic just on that level. It's like anytime you think you're going through something extremely heavy, I know you're suffering. I'm suffering. We're all going through stuff. But if you understand how the psychology of suffering is working here and how at the end of the day it's your decision on what you want to perceive. So you can either perceive the suffering or you can perceive the mission or you can perceive whatever your friend had for dinner last week and put on the internet. Like, it's up to you, right? But if you don't even remember it, just keep going. There's no reason to feel like this isn't a rite of passage. This is what we all actually have in common. And though you don't remember going through it, that doesn't mean you don't remember what got you out of it. And the things that get you out of it are very priceless, So I would go about trying to remember whatever energies it was, be in the form of words or actions, although you could argue everything's an action. But find it and let it act upon you and get you out of whatever funk you believe you're in. I mean, you have a right here in America to be as complicated and and diseased as you would like to be, but you also have the right to be totally free. And the cost of freedom is maintenance, We're just gardening here, and you got to cut out what doesn't work, and you got to even work on yourself and cut out what doesn't work within you all the same. There's really no difference of what works and what doesn't. It's just a matter of making it work, and knowing it's going to work and understanding that it does take a little bit of suffering. That's really the only price you pay I don't even know if like I can even see dollars the same, just because of the idea of like, what are we really paying for here, you know? It was an amazing quote I found last week somewhere, and I can't even remember who said it. It's some famous author or something, but not important. I'm not here to idolize a person so much as I'm trying to highlight the idea here. But he said, I think it was a cynic. A cynic knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. And that one is, you know, I think I'll probably just leave it at that, you know? So, soldier on, everyone. Let's all keep suffering. It's an honor to suffer together with you here in 2021. Do whatever you can to make the most sense out of where you're at with what you got and harmonize, y'all. And if it's a struggle, you're doing all right, you know? Don't drive yourself crazy, but understand if this ain't the dance, then nothing's the dance. So keep on keeping on with it, y'all. Peace.